Hi, welcome to Corsets Island. If this is your first time buying a corset, don't worry. This is a step-by-step guide to help you find the right size, the right length, and the right fit to help you start your corset journey with confidence. The first thing you will need is a soft measuring tape. Stand straight, relax, no need to suck your tummy in, and measure at the small of your waist, or if you carry your weight a bit differently, maybe about an inch or two above your belly button. My natural waist is 34 inches. At Corsets Island, we recommend that you purchase a corset based on your natural waist measurement. So if your natural waist measures 34 inches like mine, then you would be shopping for size XL. Our corsets and size charts are designed in such a way so that when the corset is closed, it's about 4 inches smaller than your natural waist circumference. It's the lacing at the back that gives you this adjustment. So in my example, the corset at the back will close at 30 inches. Corsets are designed to be worn with a gap at the back, especially at the beginning. So if your waist is 34 inches and you wear size XL, when the corset is fully closed, your waist will measure 30 inches. It's definitely a gradual journey, especially if you're starting out. The fact that it is so adjustable actually makes it a pretty solid long-term purchase. The goal is a gap that looks well balanced, so 2 parallel panels. However, if it's a bit narrower in the middle or at the bottom, that looks lovely too. If you feel that you have a really big disparity, say you have a very, very narrow underbust half and much larger hips in comparison, we can create a custom corset for you at no extra cost and create the perfect balanced corset for you. If you are new to corsets, start gently. So this is the tightest I can personally go on a size XL. But let me show you what it looks like a little bit looser. It's just as great. One sec. I've just tightened the corset for the modesty panel to just about cover that gap at the back. And it's still fantastic. I would comfortably wear this as a sort of fashion belt, and I feel no discomfort whatsoever. If your body is quite a lot softer or has quite a bit of squish, or if you are waist training professionally, you can absolutely consider going a size down. Feel free to message us to discuss and we can advise you what we think would be a good idea. And if you're buying a corset mainly for fashion, it's absolutely fine to size up. It just means that the size up will probably close on you, but it'll look great and still be quite comfy. If you're in between sizes or carry weight differently, please message us. We will happily help you find the right fit. Next is corset length. This gets skipped all the time and it really matters. Using your soft measuring tape, you measure from under the bust down to the lap crease. That's where your body meets your thighs. My measurement is about 9 inches. I personally am comfortable wearing corsets that are a tiny bit longer. We'll talk about this in a sec. But broadly, this tells you what corset length you can comfortably wear whilst sitting down. And I know what you're thinking. What about the sides? What about the back? Don't worry. Every single corset on Corsets Island has those measurements listed as well in the description. You'll notice just from looking at the images that some corsets dip lower in different areas, such as the hip or the front. And that measurement guide is there to help you navigate those subtle differences between the various corset shapes. Now let's talk about style and length. By far the shortest one we've got is called Sloan. It's actually listed under corset belts, but it's fully steel boned. And I highly recommend it if you like to wear 50s dresses because it only cinches the waist and leaves the hips entirely comfortable. This is the Trixie Waspie. It's only 3 class flocks, that's 8 inches down the front. And waspies tend to be shorter, so more suitable for shorter torsos, more comfortable to sit in. And generally, I'd say they're a really good type of corset to start with. I really favor diamond-shaped waspies. So those are waspies that are shorter on the sides and longer on the front, giving them a sort of, well, diamondish shape. And that's exactly the shape of the Lily Waspie. An underbust is longer than a waspie. It gives more shaping on the waist and often coverage over the hips. This is the Ophelia underbust, and the measurement at the front is 13 inches. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I sit down in this, considering my length when I was sitting down was 9 inches? Let's try it. So I can absolutely sit in the Ophelia underbust, but I just have to keep my back straight. At the end of the day, choose based on your torso length, your comfort level, and what you'd like your corset to do for your shape. An overbust comes up over the chest, so it can give more of a finished look, and you don't need to wear a bra with it. They're actually amazing if you want your corset to look more like a top, and I've got so many cool styling ideas for them. I'll show you in another video. But a couple of things to keep in mind though. Overbusts are more sensitive to fit as we're dealing with bust, waist, and sometimes hip measurement. So particularly with overbusts, we strongly recommend that you send us your custom measurements. It doesn't cost anything extra, and we would relish the opportunity to make a corset that is absolutely tailored to you. Here are the measurements we will need. Start with the bust. Slide your soft tape measure across your back and across your nips. My bust is 43 inches. Now we know my waist is 34 inches. Now, where to measure at the hip? Feeling where your hip dips are and measuring at that level. I think that's a pretty good place to start because you don't want the custom fit to be too wide on the hips. You want it to sort of blend into your body. So my hip measurement at that level is 45 inches. And that sounds about right. Same as with underbusts, it's worth sending in a few additional measurements to make sure the length of the corset is ideal for you. So the front is where you want the cleavage to basically start and where you want the corset to end. So say in my case, that would be 13.5 to 14 inches. On the sides, be mindful of your armpits. So I recommend measuring from the top of your bra to where you'd like your corset to end, along your body line. Another bit of information you could add is what size your natural waist is and what measurement you'd like it to close at, because some people are into extreme waist training and we understand they might want a much more extreme cut corset. Quick fire questions. Should a corset hurt? No, it should feel supportive and snug. How long can I wear it in the beginning? Go gently and very much listen to what your body tells you. What if I'm in between sizes? Message us or add your measurements to the notes and we'll make sure the corset is a perfect fit. We can advise you if we feel that one of our standard measurements will work, or we can just make a custom one for you. If you are not sure about your sizing and you'd like a custom fit, it's genuinely really easy. It's a free service and we are always happy to help. Welcome to Corsets Island.